Okay, this is the lesson called Talk With You, which in a way is, well, I learned it. I got the idea for this song by a Fleetwood Mac song. Fleetwood Mac recorded a double LP in '69 when they were in Chicago with some Chicago blues musicians. And one of the songs, well, every guitar player of Fleetwood Mac, that was the first Fleetwood Mac with Danny Kirwan on guitar, Jeremy Spencer and Peter Green. And they all got solo spots, and Talk With You is a piece by Danny Kirwan. And I only took, well, two verses of the lyrics, and let's say the laid-back, lazy way of singing it. But the rest is, well, a mix of Lightning Hopkins to modern players like Pat Donahue and Geoff Bradford. Okay, we're in standard tuning, but I'm tuned a half step lower. So the first string is a D sharp instead of an E. Okay, let's play the introduction. Alright, we're starting on the off beat of the fourth beat. 3, 4. And that's 4 notes in one beat. And then I'm bending the 3rd fret 2nd string and muting it immediately afterwards. So I give the impression of playing faster and then going to the slower beat. All the downstrokes, the arrows you see, are with the 2 fingers, the index and the middle, the nails. And when I do that, I keep my fingers like this. So I'm not doing a straight strum downwards, no, like this. Because afterwards I must be able to immediately pick, for example in the 3rd measure, I pick open strings afterwards, it's triplet. So in the 1st measure, and notice the bass, it's a country blues bass. You see my wrist going, slightly turning, and so that my palm hits the strings and mutes after I hit the string. So I'm playing it open and then do that. That's in slow motion what I'm doing. And I usually hit more than one bass string. Okay. Now the song has a shuffle feel, although it's written in 4/4. So every beat is long, short, long, short, long, short. It's a triplet feel. And well, you can see, for example, the 1st beat of the 2nd measure. It's a triplet. And the 2nd beat, well, it looks like a triplet, but I don't play it like that. I play it. But if you're not able to do that, or try at the beginning to play it like a simple triplet. And when you're comfortable with that, you can try it like I did. A lot of double basses there to get the triplet feel and the shuffle feel. And there, again, that's strumming with the nails here. And when I do an upstroke, I use my 2 fingers again and I place them behind, in this case, well, we have an A chord, behind the 2nd and the 3rd string, and strum upwards, hitting the 4th string as well. This is the last 2 beats of that 3rd measure slowly. strumming down, first string is muted by my picking hand, by my third finger here, by slightly tilting it. And when I'm going down, it is the palm of my hand that mutes the basses, because in theory, well, and in practice, the palm hits the strings first and then the nails. So we must be able to do it like this. See, I'm not muting the first string here, so it's ringing. Takes a bit of practice, but it's very useful and, let's say, a powerful tool in blues playing. Where blues playing is all about timing, phrasing, tone, and that's the most important. Those are the most important features. Because, well, fretting the left hand, everybody can do that. It's just placing your fingers on the right spots. And of course the right hand is also important. But timing and phrasing and tone are really key features. The second beat of the third measure, I play it in 3 different ways here. And I change here and there, so it might be different in the tab than in reality what I play in the performance. But I play either a triplet or the first note is prolonged and the other 2 ones are short. Still 1 beat. Or I use a trill. Almost in those, well, this kind of type of material in the key of E, where you go to that E chord, and it's always with a trill. Okay. Now, when we go to in that 4th bar to a C7, I'm using the B7 shape, moved up 1 fret, so it becomes a C7. And that's really short, and I mute that by lifting my fretting hand slightly, so the strings are dead that way. And I'm really hitting it hard, and I'm pretty sure the muted 5th string, it's muted by the 2nd finger because it's tilted, is ringing again. It's ringing also. Well, not ringing, but giving a percussive effect. And again, that typical down strap. And it's, well, the important note here is the 2nd fret 3rd string. If that one is ringing, you got it. Alright, one more time the introduction slowly. 3, 4. And then we have the verse, and well, every verse is the same, the verses with vocals, and goes like this. So we have a shuffle rhythm. And notice I'm really muting with my right hand tilt here. And again that strum. And here we have to do it in a triplet, so it's I don't think the 2nd string even rings, but accidentally may ring, so no problem there. do a little fill. And I'm picking the fretted notes here with my thumb and index at the same time. So they both pick at the same time the 5th string. So it's and then we go to an A with a trill on the 2nd string, 1st to 2nd fret. And I use my 2nd and 3rd finger to grab that chord. And here I'm doing a down and an up stroke of the D chord. It's a bit the same like when we're playing in E. We do. And then when we're playing in A, we're doing. It's in. It's using the 4 chords when we're playing E, and when you're in A, the 4 chord for A is D. So that's a little, well, theory behind that. So back to E. And here when we go to B7, I'm doing a little roll in that 2nd beat. Thumb, middle, index, thumb, and that on 1 beat. And the middle notes are fast. Again that. 3rd string, 2nd fret is the important note, and it's that one that we want to sound really good. The other ones, okay, but if you don't get those, no problem, but that 3rd one you nearly need it. And then after the B7, so I'll do it with vocals later on, and then you hear why we can let that 3rd fret, 1st string ring a little bit. And here I mute with my picking finger, resting it on the string. And then the turnaround lick I play entirely with the thumb and 2 fingers. It's indicated in the tab. Thumb, middle, index, thumb, and hard enough that both strings here ring. That's the 2nd beat of the 11th measure. And you see that in the last beat of the 11th measure, I hammer on, pull off, and the open G string, 3rd string, it's barely audible. It's because I'm moving my finger to get that hammer on in the next beat that you hear the open G string, but it's not like that. So you get, those are the important sounds. Okay, I'll do it with vocals, and then you have an idea where the words fit compared to the guitar. Hey, hey, little girl, let me have a talk with you. Hey, little girl, let me have a talk with you. Now to learn that single string run by heart before attempting to sing it. What are you gonna do? You see that? That's why I do that little rest. Gonna do. And here I also do the little rest often. Okay, that's it for the accompaniment. Oh yeah, there are two other vocals, verses with vocals, and they're exactly the same, except in the second one, a man's gotta give a woman everything she needs. I'm doing so. Second, so we have the hammer on, the trill, and then I'm going to second, third and fourth frets on the third string and equally on the sixth string. And between the sixth string we do and noticing I'm laying this finger, the second finger who's fretting the sixth string, flat, because I don't want those fifth and fourth string to ring accidentally if I use too much force. I don't want that. So you can play it hard without being afraid of these open strings. And in the second verse I do that twice. A man's gotta give a woman everything she needs. There we go. A man gotta give a woman. That's also another variation I do. I don't play like that, but I do a hammer on and I delay the hammer. I didn't do it in the E chord, but only in the when we're going to the A chords. And well, that was it for the second verse. And in the last verse, well, the vocalized verse, this is more an instrumental, this song, because it has 4 breaks and only 3 verses with singing, so it's more instrumental playing than singing. Anyway, the last verse. The sun is gonna shine in my back door someday. So I'm doing that, and then instead of doing it another time, I'm going to the 7th fret, and that's C9 position, 7, 7, 7 on the first, third, second and third string, 4th string, 5th fret, and the 5th string, 7th fret. And don't mind, well, you can play the open E string because it's an E9 chord, and I do. The second beat is a roll, and I'm adding the pinky to the 9th fret. And so on. The rest is the same as the first verse. Okay, now we got a lot of solos to do. So here is the first solo. And the first solo, well, is reminiscent of what Danny Curran plays, but he plays it, the Fleetwood Mac guitarist, in the key of B. So that's a totally different key than what we're in now. And if we would play what he would play, something like that, but then on, sorry, here, something like that. And I did something different, but it resembles it slightly. So what we're doing is while the bass is going. And we have a double bass in that third beat. And then we're going to the 5th string 4th fret to sort of imply just one note. And I got this from the playing of Johnny Shines. I did a Johnny Shines lesson, I Don't Know, it's called the song. So the lesson will probably have that title. And there he uses that principle as well. Notice the muting on the bass also. You can hear almost, when I mute it here, the slapping of the strings, because they're hitting the fretboard when I mute. So, and in the third measure we there's an E7, it's partial your long E7 chord. So slowly those first 4 bars once more. And then we go into an A chord. And I'm playing, I don't play a chord here, I simply play the fretted notes. So, really vibrato here, B.B. King vibrato. I keep it bent here and play a triplet there. And bending, going down, pulling off and playing the third string. And notice the muting also. Back to E. So after that 7 bar, that E, 1 beat there. Sliding to the 7th fret, and that's a triplet there. And I'm playing hard enough, that last note is not a triplet. Literally let this ring, and this is hard enough that the 2nd string also rings, so we get some unis in there. And accenting. There we have that up and down stroke. And between the verses, well, the solos in this case, I always do use a triplet, and in this case it was But you can use two basses also. Okay, I'll play the first solo one more time as slow as possible. That's the beginning of the second solo. There we have a cool ascending bass run there. I got that from Pat Donoghue. Good player. Not really a full-time blues player. He plays, well, a bit of everything. But try to get his blues CD called Blues Key, I think it's called. And it's nothing but blues numbers pieces. And the other CDs have blues songs as well, but not all. By the way, you can check him out on Spotify. That's it's a free service if you can stand the commercials. And you can check out the individual tunes and even eventually buy only the ones that interest you on iTunes, for example. Okay, the first two measures. So we're going down, and I'm really, well, not bending, but vibrating there. And then the bass stops when we're at the 4th fret, the 5th string. I'm using the pinky on the 5th fret, and you can let this ring a little bit, and then all right, one more time those two measures. Now, the rhythm might seem disjointed when you're playing those single string runs, and it doesn't have to be in time there. As long as you resume the rhythm after that, well, in the correct timing. So you can get away with that. So that's again in time. And now we go to, in the 3rd measure, to that E9 chord. And I did something different in the performance video, but this is what is tapped at. Sorry, again. But I played something like... you can use your imagination there, but I did. And I'm sliding slowly. And playing a little bit fast here. So again, in context. And you notice that here we're going a little bit faster. That's a good example of well, rushing a little bit, because it's a typical run that invites almost a bit faster play. So that's why in the performance video I'll go a little bit faster there, which is no crime. I'm playing the A7 chord, only partial with my two fingers here on the first and the second string. And I'm bending also, it's not in the tab, but you can hear it that I'm bending slightly. It's not a full bend, it's not like that, but slightly. And also the second string I'm bending, and that gives a cool effect. So just a little bit. And notice the muting also. Here I'm muting with my picking fingers. Sliding to the 5th fret and really whacking it and bending it, well, vibrating it. And when we have that bass run, that's only one beat and only one touch with the temp. Pull off, hammer, pull off, pull off. Temp wrap. I sometimes play here the 9th measure. So that bend notes I also add the second string, 2nd fret as well sometimes. And now we go to the second vocalized verse, which I already played and explained. So we have the 3rd solo. Just adjusting my tap a little bit, and it goes like this. So we have bend on the 8th string, 8th fret, 2nd string, and the 7th. Open. Okay, that A is also slightly bent there. I'm tilting my temp to get a little nail sound there. 12th fret and sliding down. You can let that ring a little bit. And that's in while maybe not exactly double time, but I played a little bit faster and going back to the normal rhythm after that. So we have playing with the two fingers here. Again that bend. And that's a long A chord. And then we go into a partial A chord. 5th fret, 6th fret, and the pinky on the 7th fret, 1st string. And that's around. And then with the index. And then I speed up, and It is not exactly as it is tapped out because all those notes should be played in 2 beats. I'm slightly slower, I think. But it doesn't matter if you pick up the beat afterwards. So one more time from the 7th measure. Okay, one more time the whole thing as slow as possible. And then we have the last solo. We go to the 12th fret. So we're doing just a partial low E chord, but I'm only playing the first 2 strings, but try to not hit the 3rd string. And the second beat is not a triplet, but I'm playing it slowly, that first measure of the 4th solo. One more time. And then the same figure, but your fingers on the 9th and 8th frets. And then we're sliding into an E7 chord. Your D7 moved up. And we'll let that ring, and now we have 2 strong basses. Muted. Sorry. And that's that E9 chord. So, and then pinky and 3rd finger on the 12th fret, 1st and 3rd string. And then we're going into the A7, so D7 moved up to the 9th fret and the index is added to the 7th fret, 4th string. It's the Robert Johnson Kind-Hearted Woman chords. So one more time from the 3rd measure. And then we're sliding. No. That's it. One more time. Important of really muting the bass here. And here, keeping that short. And best is to bend down while vibrating. No, not up. Down is better. It's more. It's easier to do. Again, here I'm holding longer than that half beat. And it doesn't matter as long as you pick up the right rhythm afterwards. Okay, it's the 7th measure. I got it from Geoff Bradford, the British blues player, who almost played with the Stones, but thought, well, they don't play enough blues, so I'm not gonna replace Brian Jones. Okay, one more time the fourth solo real slow. And again, that transition with the solo, the previous solo, is with that triplet. So that's it for Talk With Me. We only have the end tag to do, and that is played after the 12th bar of the verse. And then we go, well, let's see, what was the third verse again? The sun is gonna shine in my back door someday. My back door someday. I can use this too. Well, the wind is gonna rise and blow my blues away. And then I think so I'm doing that the temp lick, and then when I do this, I slow down. That's our E9 chord, well, C9, moved up, and we end with a little artificial harmonic on the 9th fret. So you need to know exactly the middle of the distance between the bridge and the fretted finger, and in my case is that it's just where the fretboard ends. So I place my finger here, and with my pinky I pluck the string, and you get that little bit of harmonic there. So that's it, I guess, and I hope you have fun with this tune. Lots of things to learn, lots of things, well, which you can use that in any blues in E, so you'll build up a vocabulary with these kind of tunes. Okay, have fun.